Right, I need to drag, there's going to be Captain Jack and Puppies playing today. Well, Puppies has got to go mod in a couple of hours. Let's see, where are they? I see Jack. I can almost see Pups. There he is. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
You've been streaming quite a bit of Train Sim World. Have you tried the Northern Pennine DLC? Yes, I have. Yeah, there's some nice DLCs for Train Sim World. Right, so I suppose we should point out Jack's mod.
So has something changed? I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, the squirrel rescue sign's gone from the wall here, and the pump's moved. So, yeah, Jack's been busy this week, haven't you, Jack?
A little busy, yeah.
So, let's talk about the pump first. So, you've built a new gantry over here. You've made a...
Yeah.
You've basically replaced the default fuel thing with a 30,000 litre one, but this one has... You said it has solar panels on top.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because of the abysmal recharge rate of the old one.
So the default pump suffers from a lack of battery life after a while, yeah?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just like a couple minutes of fueling makes it completely dead.
Yeah, this is weird, isn't it? Because the default fuel tanker that you get on the dock here has a battery somewhere, probably underneath, I'm guessing. But it drains quickly, and the pump performance just goes boo.
Yep.
So you've put a stack of batteries underneath and some solar cells on top, right?
Yep.
And increased it from 25 to 30k of diesel.
Yeah, because it was basically 30,000 already, even though it said 25 on it.
And, well, I think more importantly, given us a gantry so that we don't glitch the hose into the side of the dock all the time.
Yep.
Which is cool. And then there's something over there that you made as well, but, you know. This is the important bit, right?
Yeah, well, definitely, because this means we don't have to mess around with that nozzle anymore.
Jump the pump was actually a thing. Yep. It was to do the battery. Mr. Melcar, thank you for 28 months. So, over here you've built a HQ, right?
Let me just quickly flip the power on. This might drain quickly.
Have you got solar cells?
It does. The entire roof is made of them. I don't know why it's not charging fast.
Did you connect them?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the entrance lobby. Is this the reception over here?
Yes. Take a seat at one of the desks and you'll see...
It's a lovely computer. Is this running DOS?
Indeed it is.
Very nice. Has it got Space Invaders on it?
No, it doesn't. It's for work.
A
Can't be playing games.
little desk light. Right, where's the coffee machine?
Oh, that's the next level up. Some beds here for us to sleep.
Ooh, ground floor bedroom. I like it. Sleep in the lobby.
Yeah, why not? Saves us going up the stairs all the time when we want to sleep.
So we go upstairs and we've got the recycle bin, is that?
Yep.
Oh, I wish this worked, Jack. I wish you could press it and a little Snickers bar would pop out. What's this thing on the right?
That's a water cooler.
Oh, okay. Thought it was a fish tank.
Water in it.
I was expecting to see a fish swimming around.
Let me put the lights on. That's probably going to drain the battery, but well.
It's the meeting room then.
Lunchroom, meeting room, whatever you need it for. Multi-purpose.
Okay. Right, let's go up.
Yep.
Petrol head. What noise does a 747 make when it bounces? Boing, boing, boing. Alright, going up. Thank you, petrol head.
This is just a way to get out to the roof up there.
And this is where the aircon is.
Yep.
I'm still waiting for the jacuzzi.
Maybe on version 2.
And then we go up again. And again, this is the sour bit, presumably.
Yeah.
And again. And again. My legs are tired. Ooh, what's this then? Some controls. Does this work yet?
Take a seat. And press the top left button.
Systems on. Ooh.
There you go.
It
Now
really is like radar control tower.
Yeah. The tower lights work, but the runway and taxiway lights and all that obviously don't yet.
Tower light being... Where is it?
The ones above you.
Oh, the ones... Oh, okay. Runway lights don't work. Taxiway lights.
I originally built this for my airport.
I was going to say, I don't remember there being a runway on this island. Very nice. Turn that off before it goes flat.
Yeah. And that radar works as well. That'll detect actual moving bodies.
Can we dispatch missiles?
Well, you can if I load in some of my missiles, but I don't think we've unlocked missile stuff yet. So I can only imagine the price of loading in some of my missile characters.
Lovely jubbly.
Yeah.
Can't believe you didn't put a coffee machine in there.
Well, you've got a vending machine, that's enough.
Wait, what? What does a vending machine dispatch coffee?
It's
I
got,
also want to point out that vending machine does not work.
No, it doesn't work, but it does have some of those cans of iced coffee in them.
Right. I'll spawn my reworked boat.
Working on it.
I've been doing a bit of work. It'll look the same initially, but internally it's structured differently.
Ah, interesting.
Okay, so first of all, gone are all the connectors on the side. So everything has to be loaded from the top now.
Okay.
Which obviously makes the gravity difference less between the, you know, the deck and the floor, as it were. So that should help with the flow rate. Secondly, as you can see, I've kind of split these consoles a little bit. So this is the main tank now, which has its own release connector there. And the same on the other side. You can actually load both of these at the same time if you want to.
That'd be quite good.
Yeah, they both just basically drop fuel into the main tank. The main tank is no longer driven by diesel tanks. It's actually a storage area, so it's much bigger. In fact, if you look at that thing, we used to have 8,400 litres of main fuel storage. Now we've got 68,000 litres.
That's a bit of a change.
So yeah, this thing can go the distance now.
Wow.
However, I've not actually balanced it properly yet, so if we load it with fuel, I've no idea what it'll do. And then the storage tank is actually slightly smaller than the main tank. And the reason for that is just to stop the... I could make it more, but you'd be putting more fuel at a higher level. More stuff at a higher level, which would unbalance the boat, I think. Yeah. I mean, the main tank, I don't suspect you'd ever fill it.
Does it still have crossfeed?
Yep, you can still crossfeed. So if you had a total range of about 100 and... What's that? 120, 130,000 litre range.
Yeah.
Should let you go a long way.
The Arctic.
Yep. And the cargo controls have moved, so they're now here. As you can see.
Oh, nice.
So I've adjusted all the levels on the meters, so they should all work correctly. You should ask for a Yorkshire tea dispenser.
And what is that?
I prefer the kettle. The kettle and tea
moved.
bag. The traditional way. You've got much more control over it, you know? The problem with dispensers is, like, everybody likes different tea. And also, they don't tend to have fresh tea bags. It's going to take 10 years to load and unload. Well, I think... I mean, I don't know. We should test your fueling thing against this now and see what we can get. So let's do just the main tank and see how quickly we can dump 30,000 litres into this thing. And you should be able to pump it back as well.
Okay.
Like, as in if you reverse your pump, it should pump back.
Can you take that back to workshop, Paul, and push it forward in the dock a bit?
That's fine, it doesn't matter. I've got this ability.
See? Look. Extending turning arm. Look at that.
That should be about right.
Life is so much easier. Okay, that's the wrong one, by the way.
Oh, okay.
You on this one.
Just gonna hose in a little bit.
Right, it's loading. No, it's not.
It's just fell off the boat.
You pressed the button.
No.
Press detach.
Somebody detached it.
My detach isn't switched on. Have you got that, or is it not near you?
Go on. You got it, Pops?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Maybe you pressed E when you was looking at the button.
Jack, can I have a bit more light?
Yep.
Oh, another meter. There we go.
And we're fueling.
Okay, yep, fueling.
According to my dial, we're getting 1,700 liters per minute.
1,700?
Which is what is equal to what I've been testing with.
I would have thought we got more.
Is that per second, Jack?
That's per minute. 1,700 per minute. The old tank would start off at about 2,400 per minute, but it would very quickly run out of back and go down to about 1,100. And then eventually drop to 500 per minute.
Well, when we did some testing during the week, we was getting 5,800 per minute.
Yeah, but that was with Muttley's strange rig that had a pump
Somi.
near the pump.
And that was even before Somi jumped in, we were getting that. Just on the bog standard one, we were getting it.
That's 1,700. Right, try reversing it and pump it out.
Okay, reversing.
What are you getting now?
Waiting for the dial to go up. Only 1,200 per minute pumping back into the tank. But my tests the last couple of days I've had that up to 1,900 pumping into the tank.
I expect it would be slower out the main tank. We shall test it on the storage tank in a minute, because the storage tank actually has pumps on it. So right now that's relying on your pump.
Okay. Did you want me to pump back in so you've actually got some fuel, or are you going to despawn?
I mean, I can cross-feed that to the main tank if you want. Okay, we've got 1,000 in the storage tank now.
Okay.
Right, let's move your hose over and try loading this. Right, fill the storage tank.
Okay, pumping to you.
Right, what are you getting?
Pumping to you. It's going up. Still going up. 1,700 it's at now. Seems to be leveling out at 1,700.
Okay, so the rate hasn't changed.
Yeah, 1,700 is what I was getting in my own testing, pumping 2-ish. So that was to be expected. But
Okay.
that was never that slow anyway.
Right, reverse it.
And then reverse.
Happy anniversary.
We're getting 1,800.
Yeah, so now you've got a pump helping you going back.
Yep. My testing the last couple of days, I've been getting 1,900 pumping back to the tank. So we're just a tiny bit under what I've been getting. But that's probably due to the differences in my test barge compared to your ship.
The open window feature is cool. What open window? Colic, thank you for 10 months. It's good to be back than us. Walker back to. I don't know. I mean, the testing we was doing, we're getting almost 6,000.
I don't remember us getting that much.
It was before you joined. Me and Paul ran like 5 tests or something.
With Somi's pump, he was filling at 5,800 and emptying at 5,000. No, 1 second.
Yeah, I know we were getting much higher numbers with Somi's pump, but that was when he had the pump up by the actual gantry. Or up by the Bowser.
Yeah, well, when he put his pump on the dock, we were getting 3,800. On this thing, when we used to empty from the bottom thing, we used to get 600 per minute.
Yeah.
So that's substantially improved.
Yeah, the figures we were getting in the last stream, this is far better than. I don't know
Opening
what
Windows and
setup you
ATS.
had when you
Oh,
were
you
doing
mean
this
that Windows?
testing, but-
Gotcha. Have they got the F mod as well in the new beta? Have they implemented window opening and F mod at the same time? Right. Okay. Cool. Look forward to trying that then. Well, we can empty and fill quicker, that's for sure.
Yeah. And you've got a much better system for fueling. You don't
Indeed.
have to mess around with the cable anymore.
F mod is what allows them to implement it. You know, I kind of feel like they're taking baby steps to one day actually getting out of your truck. Imagine that.
Cool.
The day you can get out your truck, they'll be everybody will be like, hallelujah, it only took 10 years. Wait, Rye, can you actually do that in the garage now? Oh my god. Can anybody remember on YouTube when I interviewed Pavel? And I literally said to him, I accept that it's a lot of work for you to be able to walk around outside the world, but why can't you just walk around the garage? And it was about 3-4 years ago. They actually put it in the game. You don't understand why people want to get out of the truck. Because something like, how can I describe this? In a simulator, it just feels more real if you can actually walk around a vehicle and then get inside it and then operate it. That feels way more real than being teleported into something and then out of it again. Like, you get a sense of size and perspective when you can walk around things. And it also gives you more options. Like, you can walk around and check things, kick the tires, check the tire pressures, look at the dials, like whatever it is you want to do. Like, Train Sim World lets you freely get in and out of your train even when it's moving. And it just feels better than Train Sim where you can't really do it. Right, I'm just going to despawn this to the workshop so people can see the inside.
Okay. I'll jump off them.
Welcome back, Nutter.
Macaroni, welcome back. You wonder if they'll add a detached feature. Well, that's exactly what they should be thinking of, is adding, like, hose and pipe connections and all that kind of thing. Why is the frame rate on this doesn't feel right today? Feels more jerky than normal. So what I've done is I've got rid of all these fuel tanks here. Do you remember I had a whole bunch of fuel tanks here and here? They've all gone. Instead, there's this orange pipe that just goes straight over to here now. So the actual fuel is stored in this chamber right here. So when you pour fuel in, it comes into there now and it's drained out of here. And then when you cross feed it, it takes it from there or pumps it back into here. So that's the fuel storage. And then when you go through, this is the actual storage. And the reason this is slightly smaller is because it has this ceiling to limit it so it doesn't get too high. We could raise this up, but this is the actual storage area now. And then right at the front, there's this where the pumps are, and then you've got the ballast area, and the ballast area is bigger as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chuck a spawn inside here and just see what happens when it's fully loaded. So if we was to fill that with water. Alright, that's fully fueled with water. Just want to see what the buoyancy looked like.
Wow, actually sits pretty well.
Well, it's got no storage, but it's full of water and for fuel. But yeah, it didn't sink. I suspect if I fill that up with storage now, I suspect things will go much differently.
Yeah, we sink completely, but it's nice though you can fully fuel it
Well, yeah, and that's a lot heavier.
for a good journey.
Now that one step closer to getting out of your trucks, the funny thing you said about getting out of trucks, because yesterday on stream, that's what people were saying, one step closer. Yep. Right, there's spawn water in there as well. Right, so this is fully loaded with water. This is going to sink. Full storage, full fuel.
No.
Okay,
I mean, it's slightly underwater, but
it's actually
still buoyant.
only just, the deck is like literally...
That's quite an impressive achievement, to be honest. It's that filled, but still buoyant.
Yeah, and it's not tipping either that much. Like, the only ballast in that now is the engine room, the front ballast, and the storage, and the cargo storage.
Yeah. So, like, you could do a full storage load and less than half a tank of fuel and probably actually be fine.
Yeah. Like I say, I don't... Like, I'm probably going to bring the size of the storage tank back a bit, the main fuel tank back a bit, because it really isn't meant to have that much in it.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about fire suppression on your engine bay. Yeah, exactly, Tootsie. I mean, if you was to fill that, you wouldn't ever, like you say, you wouldn't be using water, and water's heavier. But, you know, it actually doesn't sink, which is an achievement. So the only thing is to actually reduce the size of this, I'd need to cut through the floor here somewhere. And then I'd have to move this down. Move that down as well. So the actual floor here, that's the actual floor there, isn't it?
Welcome back, Nutter.
I would need to bring, if that's going to be the new block. I think that's probably better. Put the floor in there.
Welcome back, Nutter.
I think I'll just reduce the main storage tank size a bit. If you want to go long, I think you can just put stuff in the storage storage tank anyway and cross-feed it.
Okay. Yeah.
Sub-bomb, Mr. McCrooney. Thank you very much for gifting 5 subs. Appreciate the support, sir. Thank you. Leave it as it is and just don't fill to max. That's another option. That's another option. Just leave it and don't fill it.
Welcome back.
What I was thinking of doing was making this like a diesel electric.
Right.
Right.
I'm not sure how efficient they are when it comes to boats. With trains, that's great. Even with vehicles, it's quite good.
I don't know. I kind of thought the electric engine would work better.
I'm not sure. Because you still have to run a diesel engine to, keep the electric up.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I would do is stick a generator up front, and then I'll probably go 2 motors and 2 props out the back. But I don't know how good they are.
Yeah, I haven't really done any testing on which is more like economical, which is the better option. Generally, people tend to build their boats out of, and have a diesel engine, but it's worth looking into. Bear in mind that those generators and all the electric stuff is pretty expensive.
Well, a large generator's 12 grand, and we have 199 grand. I could stick a large electric motor or 2 mediums. What I really don't like is it has, when you click on a motor, it tells you nothing about its requirements. Like, you've no idea how much power this needs. Like, how much amperage it's going to draw, how much... You can't make any calculations about your diesel engine or the generator you need to... You know what I mean? There's just... It's pure guesswork.
Welcome back,
Yeah.
Nutter.
That's half the reason I think why people haven't been doing these economy tests and stuff like that, because they just don't have the requirements. I mean, you can build microcontrollers and stuff to figure it out. It's
Well,
a pain though.
yeah, I mean, you have to drive... Essentially, you're going to have your diesel engine turning a generator, and whatever power that generates, if it's not enough for the motors to consume, then you'll lose battery power.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. But in order to work that out, you've got nothing to look at. Like, they
Yeah.
must know what it is because they've got it in the code, but they've never surfaced the information.
There's a sensor, I can't remember what it is. Oh, there it is. The torque meter. So you can use the torque meter. And you can use that to figure out like rotation speeds of the engines and stuff. And then I think there's a way to turn that into getting how much of a charge rate you're getting, but I can't remember what it is.
Batteries are heavy, which will mess with your buoyancy.
I think there was a microcontroller for it.
We'll lose buoyancy back here for sure and create more weights, but I've got a lot of weights under here that I could just remove. So just take these out and compensate for it with batteries. It's just a trade-off. You can have the diesel run a generator and store the power in batteries and have the batteries run an electric motor. That's what we're talking about, Taipan. Having a hybrid. But my problem is, like, this is a medium generator, I think. So let's say you put a large generator here. How much electricity can that generate, and at what speed is it most efficient? What RPS should I crank that to get more power? More electrical power? Because these motors that ultimately then turn the propeller, you know, what's the torque on this? What's the turning force? Having diesel electric would eliminate gearboxes in the clutch system. It would eliminate the clutch, but not the gearbox, because you probably want to have a way of, you know, without knowing what RPS this generator needs, it's hard to know what RPS to put this on. Like, we know that this wants to go at 7 RPS to be efficient, right? What RPS does the generator want to go at? If we want to make it quicker, can we put a gearbox in the way and spin it up, or will that be too much for this thing? 2 generators. Well, if you have 2 generators, you've got to split the shaft coming out the diesel engine. One engine at 7 RPS can run 3 medium generators and 5 medium electric motors. Really? You see what Olsulars posted in chat?
Yeah.
So one engine can, at 7 RPS can run 3 medium generators and 5 medium electric motors. That's crazy.
What, a large engine?
Presume it means a large, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty powerful, those large engines, so I wouldn't be surprised.
3 mediums is crazy. But how does a medium relate to a large?
Medium generators are pretty useful if you don't want to go large. Like usually 2 of them will do a good enough job if you're not like using tons of power.
Now that's a large generator right there. So I reckon we can just about squeeze in a large gen if we don't have a clutch or a gearbox, which actually you might be able to get a gearbox in there. You don't need a clutch. Generators generate more at higher RPS until a cap sets at some point. That's a motor. That's a good point. They're roughly the same though. 2 block gap. Big Red, thanks for 32 months. You love the new setup. Thank you, dude. Is it a sandbox game or do you need game money? It depends whether you want to play it in career mode. We're in career mode at the moment. So when you buy a component, you literally buy it out of money. To earn money, you do missions. Why not put 2 medium generators on the train if you come to it? What do you mean? I would need to move these microcontrollers. These guys need to move out of the way.
Did you do any more work on your train?
No, I'd focus purely on the boat.
Fair enough.
Cut them out of there. And we shall turn them around. Put them on the back wall somewhere. And then we just got that one to get out of the way. Sounds like one of you's wearing high heels walking around.
No.
Jack.
Well, I'm not wearing high heels.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Let's cut that. There you go. That's got that out of the way. You run your T-44 freight loco with one large generator powering two small... Wait, one large generator powering two small motors. Single throttle controls both diesel and electric motors. Why do you have one large gen for two small motors? That feels like a wrong ratio to me. Designer, how you doing? Macaroni, thank you for 18 months. Good to be back. I'm a dad now. My baby boy was born on the 30th December 2019. His name is Vince, and he's now 53 centimeters and well over 4.5 kilograms. Thanks for all the lovely streams. Stormworks is such a good game. Love it. Congrats, Macaroni. Welcome back. Maybe you're getting some sleep now, right? So that thing is currently being... Generator's being fed. Clutch pressure is being controlled. And the battery is linked to the main battery relay, so that's easy to replace. What?
This isn't moving for me.
What?
The gantry. It moves side to side after a massive delay, but then it won't extend.
Let me come and have a look.
It feels like a game thing, but it says I'm synced fine. Yeah, Pups is glitching around all over the place for me.
Yeah, so was you earlier. You could just leave and rejoin, Jack.
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
When's this multiplayer update coming?
Tomorrow, supposedly.
Gearbox. So we'll stick a gearbox in the one. Oh, this is gonna... Oh, you're gonna have to move the generator. What a scumbag. Right, so if we point towards the engine, like that, we'll get more RPS. You know what? There we go. So if we have a gearbox like that... Oi. Have a gearbox like that in 1-to-1 ratio. 1 turn of this is 1 turn of that, right? And then if you up it, the ratio, let's say 2-to-1, 1 turn of this is 2 turns of that, which is like an overdrive gear, maybe. But until we see how this functions, it's all pure guesswork. And then you put your generator back in. Like that. So the generator just sits like that. Does that look okay?
Is that just floating for you, Jack?
Yeah. It's
So that
not
engine now
coming
drives
down.
that generator and nothing else. It doesn't provide any propeller power whatsoever. Is this the original ship getting converted to electric motors? We're going to try it. We're going to retrofit it and see what happens. Probably going to move these microcontrollers out of the way. But first I'm going to put some batteries back here.
Oh my god.
Can't type today. So electric large battery. We'll put it on mirrored mode. And if we stick this in here.
I've got an idea, Jack. Hang on.
Oh god. What's happening?
Jack.
What's going on?
What did you do? Put me down!
Yes, I got
Well, that didn't go well.
Oh.
I
Oh
fear
my
something may have
God.
gone awry.
Leave you guys alone with machinery for 10 minutes and look what happens. That doesn't look normal for a boat.
Yeah, this is not an improved refueling technique.
Test with the dial what its max gen output you can get without the engine stalling. Yeah, we should run some tests on the gen now because I don't need to move the props, do I? We can work out gear ratios and stuff.
Hang on, it's gone back down inside again. Lift out.
You know what? It's a good job I didn't spawn my boat.
Yeah. Well, you normally ask.
Oh, great.
Thanks.
Oh my, I just want to work on my boat. I don't want to nick yours. Game, please. Oh, that's such an annoying feature.
Right, let me despawn quickly and then you can spawn, you can go back to your work.
Why don't you put that on the Coast Guard Island? Because it's small enough possibly to fit in though.
Yeah, we can do it there.
Let's teleport, Jack.
Honestly, that's the dumbest feature. It just doesn't work in multiplayer very well.
Yeah.
Well, they should at least warn you.
If you play around with the XML, you can redefine an extra edit area and create multiple edit areas.
I'm pretty certain a human is not supposed
Which
to
might
sound
be a
like this.
workaround.
Lol.
It's a pain.
Right, so we'll connect the battery relay. So we're on the A side of the relay. We'll connect that to the big battery here and the big battery here. And also the generator
No,
output.
beginner's too big for it.
Too big?
Or too small for it.
The gearbox can be
What
driven
about,
from the main
this
battery,
fly
cakes?
the main breaker. Because you don't need that unless you've got the engine. Whereas this, anything coming out of here, we want to go straight into the battery relay. And then we're going to get rid of these little batteries. And we've got space for motors and stuff. So that's that. Now there was a display up here which shows generator. This one. It's the battery.
There we go.
Generator, there we go.
Right, you might want to retract it back in. Yeah,
It's not
So
retracting
that'll
for me.
tell us what the
Oh, it's for
generator's
me.
outputting.
but it was.
Now it is.
The gearbox we could connect to a button for now, I guess. Gearbox switch. Find a free button on the seat.
Has some lights as well.
Number 5. Let's see. Number 5, we'll make it a toggle, and we'll say generator.
Look at it coiling up.
gearbox.
Yeah, the game's doing some weird things.
Yeah, I might restart it because it feels a bit laggy to me.
Yeah, it's not liking. So it might be the rain.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel as smooth as it normally is.
Might
Well,
be
on
all
my
the
screen,
map
Jack
changes.
is teleporting
I
all
can't-
over the place.
I can't attach a torque
Yeah.
meter. There's not enough room for a torque meter. I'd have to move everything 1 block over, which, as you can see, is a little bit painful. I've got enough gap in the pipe here and here. I guess it's just the air intake that would get moved. Yeah, let's do it. We'll create a 1 block gap.
Are you going to do a restart?
Yeah, let me save this.
I'll quit out.
You do a right angle off the engine into a gearbox and torque meter, and then angle it back to the gen. I suppose if I turn it on its side, I could do it, I guess. Okay, I'll save the game. I'm just going to give it a full restart,
No worries.
just in case.
Yeah, I'm just hoping it's not all those changes that have been made. I mean, they're saved as an environment mod, so it shouldn't really affect the world, but it's possible that many changes have.
Well, it could be the amount it's drawing on the dock now, but again, that just seems a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's no loss if we knock the building out, but it does mean having to do the XML again.
It's a BBC test card from like the 70s. Okay, I'm back in the game. Thanks, game. So I just want to make sure this faces towards the engine, don't we? So that goes towards the engine, and then just need to pipe it back.
That'll do. That doesn't want to connect.
It's coiled up again for me, Jack.
Yeah, I did have it. And I had them touching, but they wouldn't connect. There you go.
That seem okay?
Fueling?
So, pointing towards the engine, we've got a 1-to-1 and then a 2-to-1 ratio. And then we've got a torque meter that we can see what's going on a little bit.
Got quite a ways to go.
So, battery comes off the breaker onto the clutch. And then I think we need a new meter somewhere, because I haven't got anywhere to output that on here. That's the battery capacity. That's what the generator's producing. What do we want to display? We want to display the number, don't we? Front ballast, fill ballast. I think this breaker needs to move. Let's get hold of that block.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Okay. Because that breaker works with that stuff there, so that makes more sense. Toby Thompson, thank you for 28 months. Looking forward to the streams in your new gaming office, which is getting ever closer to being finished. Blimey, that'll be a nice day. This thing here is the door brake, which I don't even know how useful that is now, if I'm honest. It doesn't even appear to be linked up. Wait, what? I mean, do we actually want that on a breaker anyway? I don't think we do. Good morning, heli pilots. How you doing, sir? How's the rig setup going, Oliver? Yesterday, I put light on the GoPro camera, another GoPro camera, a microphone mount arm, microphone, cabled in the second monitor, so they're both plugged into the computer. Moved my mouse pad, moved my Warthog stick.
Getting close to half a tank. Half a tank will probably be fine.
Did some preliminary camera positioning and lighting and stuff, fiddle with the settings on the GoPro, etc. So it's like, now I need to set up the OBS scene for it really. And also program the Stream Deck buttons for the game. But yeah, we're almost to the point where I can actually stream from there. Let's see. Interior lights, battery, generator. I think battery can move up one. I think we need to have a little reshuffle here. What does this do? Heating. I'm going to put that interior light switch over. Oh, I can't put it there. Scuba gear's in the way. Water pane.
I think that'll be enough. That's a lot of fuel.
You'll say that right up until the point where you run out and you'll be like, yeah, it's not enough fuel.
Probably. We could always refuel on the way.
What were you even doing, Joe?
Rescue medevac.
Let's go.
Is the engine on for you?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Okay, so that's put the main breaker
Yeah, it's definitely
and
on.
the interior lights next to the heating controls and stuff, which makes more sense.
But we're not moving.
This is going to be battery
Yeah,
display.
we're taking a bit of time getting going.
So here you've got generator outputs, battery, which is going to get moved over.
Jack, this ain't the really slow one, is it?
No, it's... What is it doing?
Put that there.
It wouldn't fully engage the clutch.
Now I've got space for another display.
Drawing the scene is taking a lot of the game.
Yeah, something weird's going on.
Something between vehicles and physics events.
I blame Jack's mod.
The only thing that's really a big impact is the... But that shouldn't be affecting us all the way over here.
I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe it's doing some weird physics calculations in the background.
Yeah, because when I press F1, it's showing that it's taking a lot to draw the scene.
Right, we need to get the generator data point.
Apparently we're going 15
Engine
knots.
torque.
Don't know, it sounds like it's about to
Rotations
stop
per
for me.
second and torque
Yeah, it keeps sounding
meter.
like that for me too.
I think we're probably more
Feels like
interested
we're
in
barely
running
moving.
RPS, aren't we? I've actually got RPS being displayed from the engine. But that's measuring RPS after the gearbox. Stream is till 4 o'clock. I gotta go out this evening and tomorrow evening. Okay, so if I fire that up, it's gonna generate power. And nothing else. Yeah, the game definitely overall feels more laggy, Jack.
Yeah.
I can only think it's got to be something to do with that mod. It's just jerking all around.
It must just be the number of... Because to put one new fuel station in, you have to turn them all off. So I had to replace them all. And that's a lot of assets to add back in.
Yeah, but it's not going to deal with assets that you can't see, is it?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, but maybe.
Gaspercorn, thank you for 19 months.
It's actually running smoothly now.
Spec Silent Sean, thank you for 64. Right, let's fire this up. Oh, I need some fuel.
It's a lot of scene though. Press F1 and take a look, and I don't know if it's supposed to be that much.
What am I looking at?
The top bar where it says main.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of red where it says it's scene. Well,
Yeah,
Paul's
on my
looks far
screen.
better than mine.
Yeah, on my screen, my red bar is completely nearly maxed out.
Well, on the main.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine keeps jumping from about a quarter to a half. And I'm getting a lot of build on the logic.
Yeah, something weird is definitely going on.
My actual physics bar and the ocean bar are pretty low though. But
Yeah.
Paul's physics bar is almost to the full.
Actually do anything?
Paul, is that not working for you?
I'm pressing extend and retract and it's not doing anything.
Because that didn't work for me and Jack earlier, and we had to leave and rejoin. I'm
You're
wondering
holding
if
it
it
down?
is.
Yeah, I'm holding it down.
Right.
I'm wondering if it is the fuel stations that's causing the problem.
I would be surprised.
Well,
I mean,
if
I'm
it
not the
was
only
fully
person who's
out,
done
then
it
I'd be
really
able
well.
to
A few
retract
other
it. That's
people
why I
have
tested the retraction.
completely redone the fuel stations
Oh no, it's
and then
no, it's
released
fully
them
out.
as...
It was fully out. That's why it's not working.
Right.
Whoever is hosting the server is doing all the physics work since the MP update.
No, we're not on a deadie.
Just reading the chat, Jack.
Oh, come on, game.
Swear your boat used to do like 40 knots or something.
Yeah, it was about 45, but that's when we were putting like 2,000 in at a time. This had nearly 5,000 of fuel in it. We are doing 37. It's only a little bit slower.
Doesn't feel like it.
Now we're away from the mainland, my game is running far smooth. It's possible that the one at Spy Cakes isn't having a good time.
Well, this doesn't feel as smooth as it used to.
I agree.
I can't even pick that up now. Oh my god, I just want fuel on my boat. This is so much hassle.
Oh, actually, I just thought of something. When I spawned the assets into the world and created it as a mod, I set them all to keep active.
Right.
Which I thought I would have to do, because otherwise they would just disappear off the game world like vehicles do when you go away from them. But I think, because they're assets, they don't have to be keep active. So basically it's keeping them active all across the entire game world, even when you're not near them. Which might be what's taxing.
What does it normally do? Presume it doesn't have a keep active. You've got keep active
I
on
don't
everything
know.
that you've put in the world?
Yeah, I don't know what it would usually do when the ones that the devs put in the game. I don't know if they always keep active. Because when a vehicle isn't set to keep active and you go a certain distance away from it, it despawns. So it might be that.
That is glitching out. Look at that. That is
That's glitching out quite bad. But
Wow.
Yeah. That's because I spawned my vehicle and that was inside of it and now it's not and it's just really freaked out.
Oh, that might be a game thing rather than my mod then.
Oh my god, this is so tedious. Jack, could you not make this thing go just that bit longer?
Longer?
Honestly.
Jack,
Oh, well, the
Also-
gantry.
Yeah, it's the amount of grief because it won't go out far enough is unbelievable.
You know when you spawn your ship in, you can spawn it in right up against the
It
quayside?
is.
That is
It
not
is.
against the quayside.
it was. He did
was.
change it. Also, Jack, we failed the mission. We didn't get there in time.
What? We had an hour.
I need sunglasses. These gantry lights are so bright.
Hang on. Something's dodgy here. We had an hour on that mission on my screen.
Yay!
Okay.
They don't get despawned per se, they just get unloaded, made inactive, so someone's nearby again. Yeah, I think you've got to set them to not active, Jack.
Possible.
Like, if we're not in the area, we don't want the physics and everything for them running constantly. Because this seems to be killing the FPS.
Yeah.
It is. Jack, if you spawn back here and press F1, look at your red bar.
Hang on. See all the work I did making the actual mods, I didn't have proper amount of time to test. I tested the fluid flow speeds, and I tested the electric, and I tested to make sure that they were going to run. Didn't test the longevity of the items in game.
That's plenty of fuel for this test. Okay. We have a battery that's full. We have...
Wow.
Why do we have torque from the engine? How can we possibly have torque
What's
by
it doing
now?
for you, Jack?
Engine's not even running. What kind of sensor is this?
Yeah, it's a big bit of pink.
Yeah.
Engine
I
RPS.
can't even edit. Hang on, I'm gonna go jump into my save and edit. Do a quick test.
Okay.
Game's torque is basically nonsense, a kind of as-if value. Right, we have 8 on the RPS. We have a generator that's generating 88 widgets. And a torque value of nonsense.
I don't know, but I couldn't look at that fuel burn and fuel time for very long.
That's 15 RPS. We're generating 264 stuffs. I don't think the gearbox though. An engine always produces torque even when it's off. It doesn't make any sense. Apparently I didn't actually link up the gearbox switch.
Did someone just say that an engine creates torque even when it's turned on?
Yep. I've got a torque meter on the engine, just off the gearbox, and I've got 221 torque and it's not changed. Even when the engine's running. It's just gone.
I'm not sure that's working right. An engine shouldn't be producing torque when it's off.
Exactly. But even if we had started the engine and we had a torque value.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yep. When you start your engines, no matter how low I have the throttle, it always hits full RPM. Are you sure you've got the throttle connected properly? Is it powered? That's a good question. Is what powered? Sensors don't have power, if that's what you're referring to. Gearbox switch was supposed to be hooked up to 5 key. So Jack, if you was to modify your mod so that it didn't have Keep Alive and then re-upload it to the workshop, if I restart my game, I should get the new version, right?
You might have to restart into a new game again.
Why?
I'm
If you
not
update the
sure.
workshop...
Yeah, but with the environment mods, where you have to get them, you have to spawn them. I'm not sure if it'll work. But what I can do is I can put in a visual change.
Yeah.
And then you'll see.
Yeah, update your mod on the workshop and then just paint a tile somewhere so we can check.
Yeah.
It's hooked up right so I can go around 0.25%, then it goes full throttle. Okay. So I'm thinking there's no point displaying engine torque because it's complete nonsense. Engine RPS. So at least this way we can see what rotations the engine's doing and how much it's generating, and then we can change gear and get some kind of comparison. And the coffee machines to test. As if.
Happy anniversary, Nutter. Welcome back, Nutter.
Where's that throttle currently go? Right, so that currently controls the clutch. What I'm thinking is we just stick a motor on deck. Large electric motor. A medium electric motor. Are you measuring the battery power generated and stored? Or just measuring what's coming out the generator? But I'm also thinking we need to test this with some battery drain. So what if we have a couple of motors on deck? And then large propeller. I presume spinning them will generate some load. Have you reset the gearbox ratio after you moved it? I think so. I'll check now. Presume that'll generate some kind of load on the system. That goes to there. And then that will be controlled by up and down arrow key. It's used to control the clutch. Yep, it's fine. Not yet, Tommy. I suppose we're near a bed, are we?
Some in the building.
There's some in your boat as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know where Jack is.
I'm not in the
Jack's
game
not in the
currently.
game. He's testing something.
Okay, we'll just sleep till morning then.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm making changes.
To splash some fuel in there, pups.
Okay.
Wouldn't mind operating the annoying gantry.
Hey, that gantry's awesome.
Just make it go out further. And can you dim the light a bit? Because it is insanely bright.
Not currently, because it would mean having to go around and replace them all. Which would probably take me about an hour.
Okay, chucking some fuel in. Ultimately, yeah, we want a throttle control by logic, but right now I want to have manual control. Right, just too far. Right, stop it pumping. Okay, 0 RPS, 0 generator, full battery. Get inside. Start the engine. So at 9 RPS, we're generating about 100 somethings of electricity. See if we can create a load on that. Right, that's max clutch. Lol, pups, I'm surprised you're not minced alive doing that.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Right, so the battery's draining. I think. 0.97. So 2 mediums. That's not gone down yet. Slow it down to an idle. 0.96, there we go. 0.95. Right, so the battery's draining now. So with an engine RPS of 7, we have 57 generated in first gear. Let's up the RPS, go for second gear, get it back to 7. Yeah. Wait, what? Engine RPS? Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's measuring the actual engine RPS from the meter. So that's not actually engine RPS. That's actually the generator's RPS, which is twice the engine RPS over here.
Yeah.
So we've got 7 rotations of the engine is 14 rotations of the generator. That produces 242, which is like way more power. That's actually pretty good, actually. We're running 2 medium engines off that. And with a really efficient engine turnover.
Yeah.
And the question is, could those 2 props move this boat reasonably well? And if we stuck a third one out there, what kind of drainage would we get?
No idea. I was expecting like go round in circles. I'm disappointed.
I was expecting your legs to disappear. But yeah, fuel, like, honestly, it's pretty efficient on fuel now. It just really depends on how much power that can push the boat.
Yeah.
What are the meat grinders on deck? They're engines with propellers attached. I wanted to create some
Is there
load.
any quick way we can test it?
Well, I'm gonna put a third prop out there and see what kind of drainage we get, and if that works, I'll throw them out the back and see if it moves the boat.
Okay.
Playlist updated.
Yeah.
But I think you'll actually have to fully quit the game for any kind of update to take effect.
Yeah, that's fine. Mr. Bretson, thank you very, very much for the host, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hope you're well.
Fingers crossed that it does have an effect.
Mr. Chew, how you doing?
Happy anniversary.
Can we get a shout out, please, mods, for Bretson? He's a lovely guy, lovely streamer. Streams from the Isle of Guam, which is in the middle of the Pacific. 25 months. Did I ask you this already? Are you going to Vegas, Bretson? Oh no, I think you said you wasn't going to Vegas, but you are going to Cosford, is that right? Mr. Mike, thank you for 3 years. Yeah, that fuel burn is so good. If those props move this boat, this will be a way better solution.
Also, don't press F2.
What happens?
I went
Who
down
does
to
mesh?
3 FPS.
One of the meshes, I think the buoyancy mesh, is a bit laggy.
Okay. Right, I'm gonna despawn the boat pups.
Okay, no worries.
Now, do you want me to save the game? Or not?
We haven't done anything since we got in.
Well, you guys were off doing something.
It failed.
Yeah, it
It's-
failed.
Okay, well, I could roll it back. I could not save it, and then we'd roll back basically 40 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay,
I shall
right. I'll quit the game.